Okay, think about a story that just like grabs you. One filled with massive ups and downs, but always moving forward.
That sounds like what we're diving into today.
Exactly. We're looking at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. His life is just this incredible example of turning, you know, failure into fame, pain into power.
Absolutely. And we've got this great biographical source to work from. It lets us really get into the details.
Yeah, and our goal here isn't just to list facts, right?
No, definitely not. We want to understand the choices he made, those moments that changed everything, and the sort of principles behind his success. Hopefully, giving you some real aha moments along the way.
So we'll cover the early years, the wrestling phenomenon, breaking into Hollywood, and, well, the massive impact he has now.
It's a journey. We'll see how he navigated some pretty serious challenges and basically reinvented himself like multiple times.
It's more than just, a celebrity story. It's about resilience. Let's really unpack it.
Okay, let's do it.
So, Dwayne Douglas Johnson, born May 2nd, 1972, Hayward, California. And right away, that wrestling connection is, well, it's impossible to ignore.
It really is. It's in his blood, practically. His dad, Rocky Johnson, a wrestling pioneer, one of the first black champions. That's huge.
And his mom's side, too, right?
Yeah, Ada Johnson. Her father was Peter Maivia, a Samoan wrestling legend. So you've got this incredible lineage on both sides. He grew up surrounded by it.
But the source says it wasn't all, like, smooth sailing early on.
Not at all. His dad's career meant they moved constantly, different cities, different countries even.
That sounds tough for a kid. Always the new guy.
Definitely disruptive. But, the text kind of suggests that maybe this constant change helped him develop adaptability, like learning to fit in, read situations, survival skills, really.
Makes sense. But there were real struggles, too. Financial ones.
Oh, yeah. The big one the biography highlights is when they got evicted in Hawaii. He was only 14.
Wow, 14. Coming home to find an eviction notice on the door. That's rough.
Yeah, the text really paints that as a major, major moment. A harsh dose of reality about insecurity.
And apparently he made a vow then, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. That it would never happen again. It became this, core motivator, a deep-seated drive.
But it wasn't just money trouble. His teen years were a bit rocky, too.
Yeah, sounds like it. Getting into fights, some arrests for theft and fighting. He seems kind of lost, maybe acting out.
So what turned that around? How did he get onto a better path?
Football. Interestingly, it was a teacher who saw something in him, maybe just his size and energy, and suggested he channel it into football.
And that clicked for him.
It seems like it. It gave him discipline, purpose, teamwork, something positive to focus on. And he was good enough to get a scholarship.
To the University of Miami, right? The Hurricanes. That's a big-time program.
Huge program back then, especially. So clearly he had athletic talent and the work ethic to get there.
But the biography's pretty honest, isn't it?
Yeah.
He wasn't like the superstar on the team.
No, definitely not. They even mentioned Warren Sapp, future NFL Hall of Famer, was on that same defensive line and just overshadowed him completely.
So even then, facing disappointment, not being the top dog.
Right. And that shows perseverance, doesn't it? Sticking with it, contributing even when you're not the star. He kept going.
Then he tried Pro Bowl.
Briefly.
Yeah.
He went up to Canada, played for the Calgary Stampeders in the CFL.
How'd that go?
Not great. He was cut after only about 2 months.
Ouch. Another dream dash. That must have been a low point.
A really low point. The biography describes him flying back to the U.S. completely broke.
Is that the famous $7 moment?
That's the one. Literally all the money he had in his pocket was $7. He felt like a complete failure, rock bottom.
Wow. $7? It's
Yeah.
such a specific, potent image.
It really is, but that feeling, that desperation, it lit a fire. He decided he had to succeed, had to take control.
And that's when he turned back to the family business.
Exactly. Wrestling. It made sense, given his background. He knew the world, he had the genetics, the look.
Even though his football dream died, maybe this was the path he was meant for all along.
Perhaps. He decided to give it a shot.
So, 1996, he joins the WWF, which we now know as WWE. But it wasn't instant success, was it?
No way. First, he had to go through the ringer training.
Got the Heart Dungeon.
Yep, with the legendary Stu Hart in Calgary. And that place was notorious. Brutal basement training designed to weed people out. Intense physical punishment, mental games.
So he had to prove he belonged, even with the family name.
Absolutely. He had to earn it, pay his dues in sweat and pain. Surviving the dungeon showed serious toughness and commitment.
Okay, so he gets through training, makes his debut,
Right.
but he wasn't The Rock yet.
Not even close. He was Rocky Maivia, combining his dad's and grandfather's names.
What was that character like?
Oh, super clean cut, big smile, bright blue trunks, always high-fiving fans, like the ultimate good guy. Too good, maybe.
And how did the fans react?
They hated him. Chants of Rocky sucks and die, Rocky die.
Seriously, why? He was being the nice guy.
That was the problem. It felt fake, forced. Like the company was pushing this legacy kid down their throats before he'd earned it. He seemed, I don't know, bland. Too perfect.
So the audience rejected the hero. That's fascinating. What did he do?
This is where it gets interesting. Instead of fighting it or getting discouraged, he listened. He realized the fans weren't connecting. And then came the pivot.
The heel turn.
Exactly. He decided if they wanted to boo him, he'd give them a reason to boo him. He joined a villainous group, the Nation of Domination, and completely changed his persona.
And that was the birth of The Rock.
That was it. Goodbye, goofy smile. Hello, arrogant swagger. He started trash-talking everyone, other wrestlers, the announcers, even the fans.
But it wasn't just mean, right? There was something else there.
Absolutely. It was clever, witty trash talk. He had this incredible charisma, this energy. He started referring to himself in the third person. He was cool, confident, electrifying.
And suddenly, the boos,
Yeah.
they changed.
They did. Or at least the reaction changed. People were captivated. They either loved to hate him or they just flat out started loving him because he was so entertaining. He commanded attention.
And the catchphrases started coming.
Oh, yeah. Know your role and shut your mouth. It doesn't matter what you think. And of course,
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
became absolutely iconic, part of the pop culture lexicon almost immediately.
So this persona just clicked. He found his voice.
He found the voice. It was authentic to a different part of him, maybe, and it resonated massively. His rise after that was incredibly fast.
WWF champion, right? Main events.
Multiple times. Huge star. He had these epic rivalries. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H Undertaker. He was right at the center of the Attitude Era, arguably wrestling's hottest period.
He reached the absolute top of that mountain.
Yeah.
But even then, he was looking elsewhere.
Seems like it. The biography mentions him seeing guys like Hulk Hogan, other wrestlers trying movies, and he thought, maybe I can do that too.
Planted the seed for the next reinvention.
Exactly. So around 2000, 2001, he decides to test the Hollywood waters.
First big role was The Mummy Returns, playing the Scorpion King.
Yeah, not a huge part in terms of screen time, but visually very striking. And the audience reaction was strong. People noticed him.
Enough that they gave him his own movie based on that character.
Yep. The Scorpion King in 2002. His first leading role. And it did really well at the box office.
So, boom, instant movie star.
Well, it opened the door, for sure. It proved he could carry a film, but it wasn't quite that simple.
Typecasting.
Yeah.
Being seen just as The Rock, the action guy.
Exactly. The wrestler turned actor. There were definitely hurdles, preconceived notions about his range. Could he do more than just fight scenes and one-liners?
So he had to prove himself all over again, but in a different arena.
He did, and
Yeah.
the source suggests he was very strategic about it. He knew he needed to show versatility.
Which led him to comedy.
Mm-hmm. The Game Plan in 2007. Playing a tough football player who suddenly has to care for a daughter he never knew he had.
That feels like a deliberate move away from just pure action.
Totally. It showed his charm, his comedic timing, a softer side. It connected with families, broadened his appeal massively. It was a really smart, crucial step.
And it worked. People saw he could do more.
It really paid off. After that, his filmography just exploded. You see him doing family comedies like Tooth Fairy.
Okay, yeah.
Big action sequels like G.I. Joe. Retaliation, adventure films like Journey 2, joining the Fast and Furious franchise.
That franchise really took off when he joined, didn't it?
Huge boost. He became this reliable box office draw, consistently one of the highest paid actors in the world, according to Forbes.
But even with all that Hollywood success, he didn't completely leave wrestling behind.
No, which is fascinating. He kept making appearances in WWE, not full-time, obviously, but coming back for big matches, big moments.
And the fans went nuts every time. Right?
Absolutely insane reactions. It showed he respected where he came from, respected the fans who supported him early on. He managed to bridge those two worlds.
Which is pretty unique. Then he started moving behind the camera, too.
Yeah, another big step. In 2012, he co-founds $7 Productions with his former wife and business partner, Danny Garcia.
$7 Productions. That name goes right back to that moment, doesn't it?
Directly. It's that constant reminder of hitting rock bottom and the drive that came from it. It's baked into his company's DNA.
And they started producing his movies, TV shows?
A lot of them, yeah. Gives him creative control, a stake in the projects. Shows like Ballers on HBO, which ran for several seasons. That was a big TV success for him.
So he's acting, producing.
Yeah.
Then comes the business ventures.
Right. Expanding the empire, partnerships like the one with Under Armour, Project Rock.
Yeah, you see that everywhere.
And then launching his own brands, most notably Terramana Tequila.
Which has been, like, wildly successful, hasn't it?
Phenomenally successful. And the biography suggests he approaches these businesses with the same work ethic and, crucially, that sense of authenticity. He's deeply involved, not just slapping his name on things.
It all seems connected back to his core values somehow.
It does. And then there's his social media presence.
Oh, yeah, huge. He's got millions and millions of followers.
And he uses it incredibly effectively. It's not just promotional fluff. He shares workouts, behind-the-scenes stuff, but also motivational messages, talks about gratitude, connects on a personal level.
He seems very genuine online, which is maybe rare for someone that famous.
I think that's a big part of his appeal. People feel like they get a glimpse of the real person, the struggles and the triumphs. It's very aspirational, but also relatable.
So you've got wrestling icon, global movie star, producer, businessman, social media powerhouse. It's an incredible arc.
Truly remarkable. When you step back and look at the whole picture, it's just, wow.
So thinking about his legacy, what really stands out beyond just the fame and money? What's the deeper impact?
I think the core message, the one the biography really hammers home, is perseverance. Just relentless perseverance.
Never giving up. Going back to the eviction, the football dream dying, the initial wrestling rejection.
Exactly. He faced significant failure multiple times, but refused to let it define him. He used it as fuel. That's a powerful lesson.
And the authenticity we mentioned, being himself, flaws and all, seems key.
Definitely. People connect with that. He doesn't project this image of perfection. He shares struggles. He's open about the hard work. It makes his success feel earned and maybe more attainable for others, you know?
Yeah, like if he can overcome that, maybe I can overcome my stuff too.
Precisely. And we shouldn't overlook the barrier breaking aspect.
As a third generation wrestler, carrying that legacy, but also as a Black and Samoan man reaching the absolute pinnacle of Hollywood.
Yeah, huge crossover appeal. He opened doors, changed perceptions about what a leading man could look like, where they could come from. That's significant.
And he gives back too, right? The Dwayne Johnson Rock Foundation.
Founded back in 2006, it focuses on helping at-risk kids, terminally ill children, supporting various causes. It shows a commitment beyond just his own career.
Using his platform for good.
And his influence on health and fitness is undeniable, too.
Oh, for sure. The Rock physique is iconic. But it's more than just looking buff, isn't it?
It is. He shares his routines, his discipline, his mindset. It's about strength, yes, but also about the dedication required. He motivates a lot of people to get healthier, push themselves.
And he talks a lot about family. Seems very important to him.
Very much so. He shares moments with his daughters, talks about balancing work and family. It presents this image of a dedicated father, which resonates with a lot of people.
Trying to set a good example there, too.
It seems like it. And all of this, the movies, the wrestling, the business, the motivation it reaches globally, he connects with people all over the world.
So the legacy isn't just the list of accomplishments, it's the inspiration.
I think that's right. It's about empowering people, instilling confidence, showing what's possible through sheer hard work, and believing in yourself, even after you fall flat on your face.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the biggest takeaways from his story based on what we've seen in the source?
For me, number one is resilience, just that absolute refusal to quit. Number two is the power of reinvention, not being afraid to pivot, to try something new, even if it's scary.
Yeah, moving from wrestling to acting, then comedy, then producing, business, constant evolution.
And underpinning all of it, that incredible work ethic. Nothing seems handed to him, despite the family name early on. He outworked everyone.
And the impact goes beyond just him. It's the authenticity, the way he connects, the giving back. It makes the success story feel more meaningful, maybe.
I agree. It shows that failure isn't the end. It can be the start. It shows the value of adapting. And it shows that success comes with a chance, maybe even a responsibility, to lift others up.
So the final thought for you listening, reflecting on Dwayne Johnson's journey, think about that resilience, that willingness to change course, that relentless effort.
And it really drives home that potential we all have, doesn't it? To face challenges, maybe break some barriers in our own lives and achieve things through hard work and just believing it's possible.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it, that maybe, just maybe, with the right mindset, like The Rock shows us, pretty much anything is achievable.